Skeptical Partisan presents Hate Mail. We begin with a rabbi that I recently engaged with. I will not disclose their name for the sake of privacy and the fact that they have the holy blue check mark, which makes them somehow more appropriate to engage with. But her supposition seems to be pro-life is defined by also pro-asylum seekers, pro-keeping families together, pro-Puerto Ricans, pro-safe and legal reproductive health care, pro-covering pre-existing conditions, pro-SNAP, pro-police reform, pro-gun control, pro-responsible climate policy, pro-clean water in Flint, pro-refugee. And she goes on to give us a link, and it is an article, it's an opinion. Why are the Jews so pro-choice? And basically, if you want to go and read it, you can easily find it. It's got Getty Images, so must be legit. So basically, her supposition is that 83% of Jews believe that in most cases abortion should be legal, putting us at fourth most pro-choice group surveyed, behind only atheists, agnostics, and Unitarians. And she goes on to basically say that it's a proud Jewish tradition to be pro-choice. And the first is religious. To put it plainly, Jewish law allows for abortion. For the first 40 days of gestation, the fetus is considered a mere fluid. Talmud, and then she cites 69b of the, I'm not Hebrew, so forgive my horrible pronunciation, Yevamat, and that the fetus is regarded as part of the mother for the duration of pregnancy. It is not considered to have the status of personhood until birth. The Mishnah, Ohalat 7:6, teaches that if a mother's life is in danger from pregnancy, even in labor, the fetus may be sacrificed to save her life, unless the baby's head has already emerged. Only then, according to Rashi, Talmud Sanhedrin 72b, is the fetus or baby considered to be nefesh, a soul. Elsewhere, the Mishnah, Arakin 1 verse 4, teaches that if a pregnant woman is about to be executed, they do not wait for her to give birth, but if she had already sat on the birth stool, they wait for her to give birth. Birth, not gestation, is the critical marker here. So, I, of course, had to challenge this in my usual fashion. I don't see it being very... I mean, I guess by the Talmud, you could say that absolutely, it seems what she's citing, 83% of Jews believe that it's all right to murder within the womb. She makes a very, very good case. My question was more along the lines of, to her, was, doesn't she see the moral parallels? So I engaged her by saying, why is it forbidden to follow the practices of Moloch and Baal when all the people were doing was selectively killing children for the prosperity of culture? Rabbi, why has Yahweh changed his mind in your eye? Which, of course, she decided to refer me back to her long article. Reading her article, I still have the same questions. Rabbi, can you please explain to me why there is no moral equivalence between child sacrifice, detestable abomination in the Torah, and abortion, killing of a child in the womb for the sake of convenience? Again, she responded, read the third tweet in the 3-tweet thread. So I dug, and again, linking back to our article about the Talmud, I still proceeded to try to engage her. And I cited this valley is mentioned 5 times in the book of Jeremiah as the place in which the people would burn their sons and daughters in the fire as part of worship to Moloch. Is there no resemblance in the act that kills a child for pride and selfishness? No answer on that one. But I got a woman that really wanted to tell me off, so she said, shame on you. Claiming abortions are for pride and selfishness. Shame comparing them to child sacrifice. I responded, God bless you. That is indeed my supposition, because it is in fact the truth. How many scientists, musicians, inventors, pastors, and artists have been slaughtered on the modern altar of convenience? What's more, I think it is impossible to be okay with aborting and not worship Baal. Now, I'm sure that some people would think that I'm trying to troll her. And I don't want to say I'm really trying to troll her, but I have a legitimate question that I think no one is willing to respond to. It's basically, if you look at the worship of these ancient deities in the near Middle East, it was all based upon prosperity and based upon worldly gain when resources were limited, which is the constant echo that you hear coming from the left. That there's too many people, we need population control, that's why we have birth control, and, people should just, not even bother. So I proceed to try to engage them using scripture. I ask, Rabbi, was Isaiah not a prophet? And in Isaiah 49:15, can a mother forget the baby at her breast and no compassion on the child she bore? Though she may forget, I will not forget you. So what that scripture to me speaks is that even if the mother is callous and forgets her child, or even if she's not callous, maybe she's incapacitated mentally in some way that she can no longer remember and have compassion on her child, still God remembers that child. And I don't think God differentiates a human living being because they're inside of a womb or outside of a womb, which I don't want to go too much into Talmudic law. I'll be honest, I'm not Jewish, but I find it very interesting overall that while I'm challenging these very, very pro-choice women, which I'm sure most of them are very angry that I'm doing that in the first place because I'm a man, I did decide that I was going to troll them because they weren't answering me at all. So what I did essentially is I thought for $50, if I can even have one person look at my tweet and understand that it is a child that they're carrying, and despite what their parents may think, what a doctor may think, what they think about, they're not going to be able to finish their school or work, whatever it may be. I wanted them to consider the child that they're carrying and what a tremendous gift it is. So I tweeted, so the Talmud discounts the minor prophets? The worship of Moloch and Baal as prosperity and fertility deities devalued life for the sake of scarcity of resources. Morally seems to line up parallel to the action of the pro-choice movement, abortion on demand for any reason. Now, I bring this up to you because I did pay money to Twitter to get this out and have somebody engage me or challenge me about this. And I got $50 and I paid Twitter $50. They accepted my promotional tweet. And they, at the time, told me that I would get somewhere in the ballpark of 25,000 impressions. Now, if we look at exactly what happened after paying the $50, it looks like I got 5,647 impressions and 134 total engagements, when I don't think I got any engagements, really. I did get 2 profile clicks. But needless to say, this is well underperforming the promised 28,000. I guess they must have found my thing offensive. So, the best one I already read to you, the lady that was going off on me about shame. The interesting one is like the crazy people that seem to come out. Nurse Rabbi, 1954. You in wrong birth certificate at Netanyahu. I wrote law. Torah is probate year 1920, 1921. Woman is law. Okay. Vote is fake. Japan at JapanGov. Or real. One from accreditation standard of university. Education, science, kind. Language and letters required to all be accurate. I mean, this is beautiful kind of stream of consciousness poetry. But yeah, I don't understand. And if you're asking me if I still am convinced that killing a child for the sake of whatever it is not sacrificing a child to the altar of Baal or Moloch, or call it whatever you will, that act is definitely not one of someone that follows the Bible and can call themselves a Christian. You might find this a shocking revelation. And what's more, I can't really see a person that takes that position and calls themselves a Jew. Can't see the parallel between sacrificing a child and an abortion. Anyway, just wanted to wrap this up real quick and provide to everyone that yes, it is indeed true that there is a bias in social media. It's very apparent. If you are of the view that is morally traditional, especially a traditional Christianity, you are not allowed to promote your ideas anymore. The only way you're allowed to promote your ideas, it seems, is by their standard, which unfortunately always change. And they will not even engage you to try to debate you the relevant points of your position. They just refuse to engage at all and call you a bigot or a hater or call you shame or speak at you with weird prose. Anyway, I hope all the Christians out there know that there is a cult of death. This cult of death worships their convenience, not what is good and right under the sight of God and in the light of grace of Jesus Christ. I wish you all the best. This is the Skeptical Partisan bidding you good night.